Hello and welcome to a Smurd P video, and today we're looking at FigZero's Power Rangers Zeo Power Ranger 1 Pink. And I firstly got to say a massive thank you to the whole shebang, because I didn't actually pre-order pink, green, blue and yellow. So I got incredibly lucky in getting these, because literally they were gone. Like that, just like magic. Poof, gone. So very, very happy to have this, and very excited to show off these figures, because I've always liked how these come across. So the packaging, you have a mint in box side, you have the rear, which shows you a couple of different poses if you really want. I'm sure I will do a couple of those as we go along, and then another mint inside, mint in box side if you really want that. One thing I do particularly like is the emblem down here, and then the pink under there. I think that is very, very cool indeed. So we lift that up, and very similar to the gold, you've got the symbols down the side. You got this open through box. And then you've got a nice sign on the top. And then once again on the back, you have these massive symbol going on there. And I'm sure I've shoved that somewhere in the thumbnail anyway. So without ado, let's get carefully now about packaging. Okay, so one of the things I always say is I wish these came with head sculpts of the actors and the actresses, so you can alternate that sometimes, like they're in a command center. However, I feel also you're probably going to pose it like this, because why not? Why would you do anything else other than this? It's the same when I got the Lightning Collection. Loved the little heads. However, they just ended up in one of my little boxes. So this is a beautiful figure. I really like how this looks. It's very, very difficult for me to... In fact, you know what? I'm going to take the camera off, because this is not going to work otherwise. So as we look, we have this beautiful head sculpt. Very simple. I feel like, is this a bit too big? Maybe. And also, I feel like there's a different tone between that and the fabric. It could be how the light is shining. They've definitely got this bit right with the detail on there. I think that looks absolutely gorgeous. And then we go down. The fabric is really, really nice. It's sort of, it feels a little bit glittery, pink glittery. I've got two lines here, which I find a little bit annoying, but I don't feel like it's the end of the world. The belt looks absolutely stunning. Once again, the detail is on point, and the color looks really, really good. The belt, I feel for... I mean, it is what it is. I do worry that if you put too much pressure on it, you could end up damaging it. You can unclip this as well, which I think is new. I don't think we've had that before. So that's interesting if you want to, I don't know, actually play with it, which I don't think any collector's going to do that, because the amount you spend on this is a collector's item. You're literally going to be putting it on your shelf to display. And then we'll go down to I said the belt again. I meant to say boots. And these look very nice, crisp. And then under there, got the old FigZero logo there, and some sort of trademark stuff there. But there are treads, which I think is a nice touch. And then we've got the cuffs as well. So you got hard plastic, and then soft fabric, hard plastic, soft fabric. So there is a method to how this looks. Just put my camera back on there. Now, that's not even going to work, is it? So, you're going to droop now, aren't you? Damn, Cameron, why'd you do this to me? Always embarrassing me for my friends, man. Anyway, let's move her back slightly. There we go. Right. Articulation. You're going to be careful with this, because the worry is that if you put too much pressure on something, the fabric is going to go. That is always the worry. So head, you can get some nice range of movement there, and you can swing that around. If you want to break her neck, you can. Bit weird, but you can. So arm can go up, arm can go forward. Now, you're not going to roll that all the way around. I feel like you could, but you're gonna rip that for certain. There's only so much movement on that as well. Hand can go around. Well, yeah, a little movement. And I wouldn't risk it with the hands as well. The pegs, you get replacement pegs with these, which I think is great. But that does make me worried that they've actually not resolved the issue that many people have probably noted, including myself. Now, she does come with a skirt, like in the show. So you've only got a little bit of movement there. So you're going to want to be very careful. And then you got the double on the leg, and that seems to work quite nicely. So you can still get some nice poses, but once again, I feel like you're going to be cautious. I would be cautious if I was doing this. I am doing this. I'm still cautious. So, so she comes with multiple hands, and we will see those hands. She also comes with a piece that helps connect the Zeo weapons. Now, this is very simple shield. Compared to some of the weapons, it's not as flash, but I feel like you've got less concern with this being a solid piece. You've got less chance of damaging this or stabbing something with this than some of the weapons perhaps we will see over the upcoming weeks. I'm just going to lift these arms up. Now, I always find it weird that the gun sits like that, considering this is meant to be like I guess the sort of pointy bit. And then we've got the gun there. So I'm going to just carefully take the gun out first so we can have a look at that. Once again, completely on point. They're always on point when it comes to weapons. I feel like they do an absolutely stunning point. And with this, you can maneuver this like so. Now I'm just going to set that aside, and we can have a little look at this. So you have this piece here, and you can pop that off as well, and then you can put this in its place. So when it becomes a sword, it is this piece. That's quite a long sword. It is a little piece bigger than the one when it is in the holster. That's the word I was looking for, holster. And that just slots up very, very nicely. But I'd still just err on caution. If I was you, you don't have to rush these things. So in terms of the gun, you can very simply stick that on there, and there's a magnet piece that it connects to. And there you've got where it combines, and it becomes, I guess, a more powerful gun. But yeah, I think that looks absolutely stunning as hell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change a couple of the hands, because we've got the fist hands, and then we can have a look at some of these nice poses before I wrap up. So here is the first pose. So I've used the pistol hand, which I will use again in a minute. And then we've got a sort of a relaxed hand, which is sort of holding the top piece off the gun, making it sort of more of not a pistol and more like a rifle, I guess is the word I'm looking for. And yeah, this looks absolutely stunning, a stunning piece. Now, one thing which I will reiterate is do be careful with the pegs, because I took out the first set of hands and they were still in there. So you got to be very gentle engineering them out, because the worry, and this is why they're giving you spares, because you know you could damage them quite essentially. And the trouble is, if you get that peg stuck in that hand, you ain't getting it out unless you're very careful, and maybe have a hairdryer. That might work. Anyway, I'm not risking it for a biscuit. So let's go on to the next bit, which is the pistol. Yeah, so very, very simple transition. So I've got the sword hand there, and you do get two of those, so you can use either hand depending on your preference. And then I just thought I'd put the pistol in the right hand, because that's the only hand you get for pistol holding. And I think it looks great. I think the sword really stands out. It's a nice size, and it was basically that long and thin. And then you've got the nice gun there, which looks absolutely brilliant. I'm really impressed with that gun. I really do like it. So that leaves us with one final thing to do. That's to put the shield on. Let's have a look at it. Okay, and here she is holding the shield. And I think it's a bit awkward to get on there, but it's held in there really tight. So I do appreciate that. I think it, once again, it's beautiful shield. And you've got this other posing hand that you can use as well. So once again, I think ThreeZero have knocked out of the park. One thing I would say is if you could flick this up, this hand, it would look 10 times better, but it's not the end of the world. I think incredible, beautiful piece. And any collector who wants a really nice collection, ThreeZero are definitely the way to go. However, you'll probably find it's perhaps difficult to get some of the older pieces from a few years back. They've been around, probably 4 or 5 years now. And I guess I have noticed that Zeo, I think, is very slow to come out. So I do worry that it's going to take time to see more ThreeZero products, I suspect. But other than that, fantastic piece. Very, very happy to do it. If you like my channel, please subscribe. I'm going to be reviewing these over the next few weeks. Thank you everybody that's subscribed already. Thank you for watching. Make sure you look after yourself. And as always, embrace geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.